Um, our today's topic, I think, come from, I will say, humanities. Yes, real humanities, because we talking about. Let me annotate something. We talking about science. Yes, and maybe from Greek language called semiotics, right? Greek, from Greek. So we're talking about science. We're talking about, I will have a simple word for you, life story. Yeah, like a narrative. It's a life story of something. And and to make it more interesting, I will give you a chance to do in-class activities for these three kinds of qualitative data as well. Science, life story, and you say literary comparison. Yeah, to make it simple for you. So semantics, I mean science. Narrative means life story, and metaphors in literary comparison. Like and we can learn them in details later, and maybe we should start the semantics first, right? And talking about YouTube video, so you learn a little bit or maybe introduction to semantics, right? And they say, oh, it's a science, the study of science. I think it's quite simple, but not cover everything about semantics now, right? Because we have many kinds of applications to, I mean, say library, archive, and museum services. They use semantics to, I will say, to develop or create new services to our users today. Yeah, some kinds of when we're talking about semantics, science is quite a general word. Vincent and Bookbig, could you tell me or give me some examples of science, right, in everyday life that you met, even in your work, in your study, or in your workplace? Please give me some examples of science.
Like graphic science.
Graphic science. Okay.
Door or signages at the gates or door.
Okay.
The common that I usually encounter in any facility. There are signages there.
No problem. Bookbig, how about you?
like the menu and the bottom on the online journal databases on the library website. So for example, when I have to download the file, I have to see like the bottom that represents the save button, the export buttons, kind of like that.
Okay, good. I will say example from Vince, Bookbig, or even Vincent's. We're talking about user experience, and yeah, you can learn these topics from Ajahn Muk, our program director now. Yeah, we're talking about user experience, right? I talk about application or everyday life. We apply semantics in services in GLAM, gallery, library, archive, and museum. You're talking about, I would say, please let me give you some official names of a kind of Vincent says. use this word. Oh, sorry. I use this word. Here. Wayfinding. Yes. So you can use this word when you're looking for information about semiotics in library, archive, and museum. We use this word, wayfindings. And for user experience, you know, as a COVID-19 situation, I mean, everyone work from home and study from home. It means we have to use semiotics in library buildings as well as virtual libraries, right? Because we have a, have a virtual exhibition or even ebooks, everything that's try to replace the way we use library as places, right? So we have looking about where findings, as Vince and Pukpik says about, icons, where findings, and signage. Yes, like the direction or the directory as maps, or even, like I would say electronic board, right? They have some kinds of, yes, please jot down the official terms that can help you to find more information about semiotics apply to our library, archive, and museum context. Right? You say, oh, we're findings and icons and signage. Some, if all of you are interested in library designs or user design or user experience or library architecture, please jot down these official terms that can help you to look for more information about semiotics. And even services or products about information as well, we can use wayfinding, icon, and signage to, I would say, communicate with our users. I would say for remote users, quite difficult, right, to communicate with them because we don't know exactly or respond at the moment when we see, or when we see wayfindings and icon signage in on library website or web interface, right? It's very hard to explain to them directly. It I mean, if normal user, they walk around library building, they, if they get confused, they can ask questions to the library easily, right? The way or how to use them, how to find them. But for remote user, it's very hard. So that's why at the moment, wayfindings, icon, and signage, I mean, electronically or virtually is very important when you design the service products or even websites or library apps applications, right? So very important now. But for the research, sometimes now it's quite, some they call, oh, icons, semiotics technically, right? The icon, signage, wayfinding sometimes quite, they have universal meaning, universal meaning. I would compare with traffic signs, right? It's quite universal, even in the Philippines or in Thailand. I don't know. In the Philippines, the driver, they have, when they drive the car, the driver position or the driver seat in the right or in the left hand side.
Left.
Okay. Or it's similar to American, right? America.
Yes,
the left
yes.
hand
And I believe in Thailand it's on the right.
On the right. Yes.
Yeah.
So so even it says, oh, icon, wayfinding, and signage have universal meanings, but some they have little or small differences. It depends on the context that you use as well, or even personal, personal perception. They perceive or they try to understand, the icons or the wayfinding as well. Though it's very, I would say, it's fun, but not easy to design or use semantics in when you create new services or products and offer or provide them to our users. It's very fun, but it's quite fun, but not easy to I would say read their minds or have a universal meanings in theory, right? Okay, so just to make it quite easy to understand, so I will have a in class activity now. So have a look, and I share my Google Docs with you now, but I can give you some Google links. Have a look at our Zoom chat now. So you can join and type your answer now. If I say, oh, semantic or signage, an icon, or their findings have a, universal meaning. So I hope all of you, Vincent and Pukpik's answer should be similar, right? No, don't get me wrong. I'm just joking. So yes, let it go and answer is freely. So have a look. What do these signs mean in a library? I say, oh, I give you the context, the library context, And I will ask you one by one the reason why you think its meaning. You think about its meaning. Ajahn Gop, you can join or have a guest with our students. So if you see this icon, what does it mean? I mean, on the library website or on the library app, what does it mean? Try to be more specific, right? And yeah, if you look at this icon, what does this icon mean in more specific specific meaning? The second one. Oh, nice try. Nice guess. Book delivery, service new books. The third icon should be the toughest one. So your answers looks like a caption of the icon. So you see, even we use, I would say it's universal meaning, or universal icon, but sometimes they got, or everyone has their own, interpretation or understanding. That's why your answer now, we treat your answer like a caption or the title of the icon. So that's why I say, oh, try to be more specific, right? Because yeah, icon is more attractive, right? And but anyway, you have we have to design or use short caption that describing the icon, the meaning of this icon as well. Oh, good. Icon with its caption is perfect. Hello. Now, okay. So the first part of in-class activities first. Oh yeah, good. I would say the answer is new books. The answer is new books. But yeah, you call new books, and I will say Ajahn Gop, arrival and wins availability. It's I will say not bad, but when you try to communicate with general users, sometimes we have to use try to avoid jargons or a little bit complicated terms, right? I mean, this is a written academic English sometimes, yeah, but not mine. Yeah, new books. Why you guess this is icon for new arrival or new availability or new books? Why? Have a look at this icon.
Because it's shiny.
Shiny.
And the ribbon
Okay.
is untied, so it's like a present. being opened.
A newly
Yeah,
opened
yeah.
present. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
It's
all the
no.
shining something.
Oh yeah. So you say shining means new, right?
Yes.
A new one, or
Mm.
unbox the books, or try
Mhm.
to untie the
Mm.
ribbon.
Yeah.
So I mean, when you look at this icon, sometimes for the book lovers, they very happy, right? Because you it's the happy feelings that you untie uh, new books or boxes or gift boxes, right? Like a like a kid, yeah. Me too. New toy, or even you buy iPad, or even some kinds of new gadget, and you unbox them. This feeling is very happy, rather than its product, right? Product itself sometimes. Okay, good. Thank you ครับอาจารย์ก๊อฟ Actually they use new arrival, but for me it's quite arrival or availability sometimes is good for website, but not the caption underneath the icon, right? Sometimes you have to be more maybe general. Yes. New books. Yes. Good. And the second one, second one is quite, I will say it's quite complicated. Me too. At at the first time I saw this icon, and I give you the same answer you gave me now. Return books, even book drop area. Yeah, good try, and return book sometime. But the answer they say is book donation.
Oh.
Book donation.
Oh,
You see.
okay.
But don't get me wrong, everyone has their own own understanding or interpretation as well. So our challenge, yeah, we try to respond or offer for many people, right? I mean, universal meaning for many people, or most of them. But I accept the minority's idea, right? But it's fine. But for the majority, you should be, right? And I will say, me too, at the moment, and I see this icon, oh, say this is a book drop or return books, but they say this is book donation. Okay, never mind. So that's why I will say, not just icon now, we need to have a short title or short caption
Mm.
under the icon, to make it clear, make it understanding. So, the last one, yeah, you have a very good guess. Depository area, right? And but the answer, they just use a simple word. They say baggage or
Yeah,
luggage unit.
yeah.
Yeah.
Baggage
Oh.
counter. Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah.
I've used the depository area because in our library it's what we use as the
Mhm.
term. Yeah. But yeah, it's the luggage area where you can deposit your bags
Yes.
and yeah.
Mm.
I will say, not right or wrong. It's the complexity of language we use. Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah.
And they say, oh, luggage or baggage unit, and you say, oh,
Mhm.
depository area. But for me, it's
Mm.
okay, acceptable. Yeah. Yes. I will say synonyms or similar meanings as well. So it depends. So in terms of the area or the field of user experience, sometimes you have to test the icon and test the caption in real life, right? You have to, like like Ajahn Gop taught you last week about the focus group. Sometimes you have to invite sample of students and have a focus group, and you show them some kind of icons and short caption of the icon as well, to test this is acceptable or understandable. Yeah, very, very good. And trust me, if you do research about library web findings, library size, or library icons, they use a variety of symbols or semiotics in their library apps, or even in many places, doors, or even their library buildings, they use different ways to communicate with their own users, right? Okay, and have a look. You explain to me that it looks like a ribbon, and you untie them. You have a books. You have the shining, lighting. Something is new, right? It means new. So this, I would say, this is universal meaning, and and sometimes you have to need a caption. And I would say, in research methodology, please jot down this term because I would say multimodal. So if you are interested in semantics, narrative inquiry, or even metaphors, right? These kinds of qualitative data analysis come from humanities and literature studies, and now they call multimodal. It means, not just picture, image, but together with text, describing the meaning behind icons or signage or web findings, right? They use this word multimodal.
So Ajahn, I've remembered that in our previous classes,
Yeah.
I don't know if it is on the previous classes, but I remember that you did a research regarding infographics. Is this kind of semiotics? I mean, the paper that you are, I don't know if you're already finished or are you're still doing that, but the paper that you are currently doing, is it like something the same
Yes.
as semiotics?
Not 100%. I try to mix them up. Like sometimes you have. I would say this in class activity. Try to give you a chance to learn, or try to have a good guess. Or sometimes it's common sense. I would say that. Yeah, that's like Vince says, but I would say it should be better if your understanding or your interpretation relies on the theory. That's Vince mentioned about my work, infographics, or even library pictures in the competitions. I try to interpret the meaning behind the photos. That's, I will say, all of my work relies on the theory. So yeah, this activity, don't get me wrong, is the common sense, your common sense. It's universal meaning sometimes, but in real research, when you analyze qualitative data, please rely on the theory. Even it will be great if your findings not compatible with the previous theory. Yeah, it's quite astonishing and very interesting, right? But fine. But that's kind of theories that will guide you or make your research finding more reliable, not just try to reduce your bias, and you tell your thesis audience or your thesis readers that, okay, the interpretation or your understanding relies on the theories, the relevant theory, not your own experience, right? Sometimes because it's quite no, it's not so academic when you try to analyze the data. Yeah. But I just say I can't say just Win's question. I can't claim that I use multimodal analysis or discourse analysis come from literature study or 100% authentic humanities because for me I apply I would say social theory sometimes rather than literature theory for me because I try to like a user behavior or user experience or even try to apply to the, the social aspect rather than personal aspect or individual or individualism or sometimes but yeah but I borrow the ideas from humanities. Yes, and that you can claim you can contribute your work can contribute to the field of library and information science or information study because you try to borrow the old from another field in the new context, right? Yeah, that's it. You make a new contribution to our field now. And you say if you have enough time, you can read the readings on our Google Classroom. There's quite serious about how to apply the theory of semiotics, but it's quite boring. Trust me, it's quite long article, but it's very good to start.
Thank you, Ajahn.
Clap. Okay, so multimodal analysis, yes, because if we use discourse analysis, they're talking about text, but now you mix up among video, icon, image, and text together. Yes, they have a multimodal analysis. As you can see from our first activity, so not just about the icon that makes sense, but you make sense to the audience with your words or your text as well. Yeah, under the icon, right? Good. New books, even return books, I accept that. Depository area, yeah, a very good one for me too. So have a look at the real example now. So which one do you like most? And the reason why. Which one do you like most? Please note that all of three poster come from a real one, and combine icons, signs, and text together. Yeah, semiotic as well. Vincent, which one do you like most? 1, 2, or 3?
I would prefer number 3.
Number 3. Upik, which one?
I select number 3.
Number 3. Vince?
In terms of easy understanding, I prefer number 3.
Number 3.
But in terms of how, it's not bluntly being pasted in your face that you're not allowed to speak. I prefer the number 1.
Okay. Ajahn Kop, which one do you like most?
I like number 1.
Number 1.
It's simple.
Oh, you think number 1 is simple?
Yeah.
The first one I saw number 1. I think you can, as I interpret it, you can at least talk a little bit. It's not fully silent. Unlike for 2 and 3, totally
two and
you,
three.
the message as I perceive it, you cannot talk at all.
Yeah, because I mean, one of, I don't know if it's only me or uh, or is it common, but is it common in the academe? But one of the most uh suggested ways to
Mm-hmm.
us here. I don't know if it's also applicable in Thailand, but here
Mm-hmm.
in the Philippines, one of the most suggested ways in instructing is doing it in a positive manner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Oh.
you don't say no speaking, no noise.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why I prefer the number one, because I mean silence is strongly encouraged.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, so it's like
Like
Okay.
opposite.
It's
yeah,
more of the message of number one is like what I wrote there. It's more of parang respectful study
yes,
rather
Uh,
than
yes.
do not
You,
make noise. Parang.
you don't, yeah, because some,
so don't don't tell them straight away straight, right? Just try to be
yeah,
polite.
yes. I mean because like strong words like no noisy, no speaking, no noise allowed, etc. Sometimes it creates a strong ano,
Message.
pillar, or is a strong approach
Yeah, I get
that,
it.
Impression.
yeah, that sometimes students
Find it hard. Find it too tough.
doesn't, yeah. And then sometimes I don't know if it's intentional or subconscious, but they do not apply the no.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They tend to talk
So
more.
instead of no noisy, they tend to be more noisy. Yeah.
I see. So,
There are library goers sometimes they challenge the signage.
Yeah.
oh yeah, I
If
love this word
the
that you try to challenge.
yeah, if the librarian will really scold them if they get
Yeah.
noisy.
Challenge
They
me if you can,
they
if
they
you
don't
dare.
they don't notice the no or the not or the negative words. They only notice the verb. So noisy. Yeah.
I will say, I mean, Pukpik's answer or Vince and Vincent, you give me an answer because you are have a, you have student in mind. But for Ajahn Gop, you have teachers in mind. I will say that this is the answer. I mean, because the first one is quite, like a dashboard, and have a
Yeah. In the
very
car.
formal, yeah, sometimes,
Yeah.
and just like Vin says, you try to not have a straight talk because it looks impolite for them, and yeah, it's the teachers in mind, you take teachers in mind. So that's why you have a dashboard, or even use colors, right? From red from red, yeah, from red and yellow
And
and green.
and one thing I've noticed is that when the signage is too cliche,
Mm-hmm.
they tend to not read it anymore.
Yeah,
Yeah. So
yeah,
so
that's right.
so the icon with the speaker with with the slash, they,
Uh-huh.
I mean, they don't notice that anymore. So I think number one is very very eye captivating in terms of
Mm-hmm.
color and
Mm-hmm.
the design. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, and I will say the second one, I mean, because the second one, they just focus a lot on uh, symbols or icons, right? And but the third one is the real one. Yeah, you are right. I mean, uh, they take students' idea in mind. The student, they just, oh, okay, have an icon to just, Vin says, try to soften the their feeling, right? Not try to be more strict, or
and
like
Ajahn,
scold them or sometimes. Yes, and but the third one, this is a real thing. Yeah, they chose this one because they have some kind of short explanation, no talking or no whispering or no group work, and finish with polite words. Thank you, thanks. Sometimes, yes. And they, the third one, they try to combine positive sides or the positive sides of the design or semiotic use. Yeah, this is a very good one. And if you are interested in this work, you can click at the link that I give you in the source behind the title of our work. Is in the field of user experience. Yes. And they try to use semiotics, but they say signage for them because they have a the board or on the library building instead of website or web interface. And as you have a look at this work, they have some kind many text, not just signs or symbol. They use you say sh or sh, a long sh as a silent area as well. So they try to talk, like you say, talk with students in mind. But yeah, this activity prove that Ajahn Gop, you are real teacher because you use the first the first one like a dashboard. Right? It's more, you say, more formal and a little bit serious because you have sometimes the level and yeah, it depends on your target groups. Yeah, Ajahn Gop.
Uh, sorry. Yeah, the first one, I mean, I like the first one because it's catching. And for me, the last one, the third one that they chose, I think it's too much detailed. If I'm a student, I don't but it's clear enough because how to say, the icon say that the speaker no voice or no sounds, not clear at all, right?
Yeah.
But I mean the last one tell that even talking, even speaking, whispering, even do the group work, no, not at all. So it's clear.
So sometimes they have a big gap between librarians and users because as librarians, me too, we think, oh, we already know. Sometimes we have we have already know, but for the student, especially undergrad, you can ask Vince, Pupik, and Vincent, right? When you deal with undergrad student, they're still kids, right? Sometimes you have to give them more details, right? Or what you can do or you can't, like the third one, no talk, no whisper, or no work group work.
I just remember how to say, the sign no food, right? No food at all. But I mean, even
they bring food.
When I was student, I said, oh, it's just candy should be allowed. Not a hamburger or sticky rice with pork, no.
For Asian food, we have strong smell of Asian food, so you can't eat them in the public. Sometimes it's disturbed. Sometimes. Yeah. So please know that our in-class activity just test your common sense, So I mean, when you do your qualitative research and deal with semiotics, please try rely on the theory. Theory. So, what kind of the theory? I would say, the theory of symbol design or signage design or wayfinding designs in art if you want, or if you really like this kind of, this field, library arts or library architecture, yeah, you just follow one, and try to compare and contrast what you found in your qualitative research.
I just remember the issue regarding the sign of handicap.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
yeah. I don't know if you're familiar with that issue or what, but I mean, as I have remembered, some people argues that the icon for need assistance
Mm-hmm.
is kind of obsolete
Uh-huh. Oh,
because
why?
because not all disabilities are physical.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Mm.
I mean, yeah, I think there are some people now that tries to modify the icon to be more inclusive,
Mm-hmm.
because I mean, in the Philippines we have this PWID, PWD ID, like
Mm-hmm.
persons with disabilities, and
Uh-huh.
then they are entitled with some discounts and privileges. So for example, when you can have that ID if you have like uh,
Mm-hmm.
PTSD, like post traumatic stress disorder.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, it's obvious that PTSD is a kind of mental disability and it doesn't manifest physically.
Mm-hmm.
Now there are times that people with IDs like that
Mm-hmm.
are parking in
Oh.
a parking space with these icons. Yeah, and then there sparks a argument because that is for handicap. Yeah, but the argument is that I'm also handicapped, but not physically. Yeah, so that's the interesting. Yeah,
Uh-huh.
when that this is our class today,
Oh.
that really I immediately remember that issue. I don't know if it's already been studied or what, but I think it's very interesting
Mm-hmm.
to be studied upon.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Yeah, very good point, Vince. So, I mean, for the special group, I mean, the group of people, they have special needs.
Mm.
Sometimes it's quite sensitive, or concerned with the design or
Mm.
semiotic, or symbols they use, right? Yeah, very, very good
Mm.
point. So if you are interested on to research on these kinds of semiotics or something, yeah, you can, like now, uh gender symbol in the toilet now,
Mm.
they have a male and female, and have a baby change the nap,
Yeah.
change the diaper sometimes. Yeah, it's quite, it's quite sensitive, with
Mm.
the people in
I
in
al-
special needs.
yeah, I also remember that issue when yeah, usually the changing diaper station.
Mhm.
Yeah, there is a signage for that in
Uh-huh.
female
Yeah.
restrooms. But
Mm-hmm.
now people are arguing that there are also single parents who are
Mm-hmm.
male and they need to
Yeah.
change the diapers of their children. So I mean, so yeah, some people, yeah, I've also read that they argue that male comfort rooms should
Mm-hmm.
have those icons also
Mm-hmm.
to be inclusive, because yeah, it's not that when you say single parent it's always female. No, there's also single parents who are male,
Yeah.
and they
Yeah.
are yeah, and it struck me because oh yes, when they're going to change diapers, where they will going to do it because they don't have that station in the male toilet. Yeah. Yeah, I think a lot of signages needs to be revised or something.
Tell the truth, even in the airport, long time ago, no? Even in the airport, you can see single dad, they change baby girls diapers in the male toilet. It's quite awkward for me sometimes, because it's yeah, the baby girl sometimes, yeah, because yeah, just like you say, because the symbol or the signage, they're just a female have the right to change. No, the single dash as well. So it's try to neutral gender. Yeah, try to neutral gender sometimes. It's very sensitive now. Even the questionnaire now, you can't, you know, identify the gender if they want. Please identify the gender or even identify your budget, right? It's quite sensitive. The symbol as well, yeah. Just like Vin said, yeah, a very good point. Disabled people is not just, you know, people who can't walk. No, they have some kind of mentally and physically ill, right? Sometimes, yeah, so I would say this is very sensitive. I mean, when you try to apply semiotics in real life or in your services as well. So, but for more detail, you can, you know, learn semiotics or symbols used with Ajahn Muk when you study user experience. But I will say for user experience, sometimes they focus on, you know, online or online interface, right? But for physical, yeah, it's quite hard. Okay, thank you for your cooperation with first in class activity. Now it's time to have a first break for 5 minutes. Back. So, okay, clap.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the example of narrative analysis in library and information science research. They investigate into the career choice of young adult librarians, you know, and don't worry, just read only abstract. They say, oh, this study examined the career motivations of young adult librarians working in public libraries, and they use qualitative interviews with only three practicing young adult librarians. And yes, again, you ask them about their own life stories. So if you have time, please read this article. You know, I would say this is a master thesis. Yeah, master thesis. And have a look at the appendix, especially interview protocol. Oh, sorry, I can't remember exactly what they call. Interview protocol or, you know, interview guidelines. Interview guides. They just have a more detailed, a very good example of how to interview librarians and let them tell their life stories. Yeah, all life story written in narrative form. In theory, narrative form means some kinds of diary, memo. Ajahn Gop already teach you. Diary, memo, or even, you know, some kinds of digital recording, right? Like a vlogs, video logs, you know, any kinds of, you know, social media posts, yeah, everything that's in the narrative form. I will say some researchers, they go beyond, you know, written form or narrative form. They're talking about Instagram. They tell the audience tell their own story or life story by using photos. That sometimes it's quite complicated and have a the complexity of narrative analysis as well. And they say, oh, in narrative form and analyze using, again, you say this is very important for the beginner and me too. We're talking about, again, we have to rely on theory when you analyze the narrative forms or narrative data or even qualitative data as well in general, right? And yeah, they tell the audience exactly, they use the principles of carrier construction theory. So this is a good example when you analyze narrative data or life stories. You have to rely on the theory, and this is the thesis on the topics of carrier, right? Librarians as carrier. The motivation, their own motivation, why they make decision to become a librarian, and they use our carrier construction theory to guide them, to guide the researchers. And this is a very good abstract. Comparisons across the life stories of the participants. And they say, they call share, share carrier motivation. It means the researcher has already know the constructs or the concept or the code. I can told you the codes or themes, right? The carrier in relation to carrier motivations, right? And they say, oh, and the research can identify carrier factors specific to young adult librarians. So why young age or young people decide to become a librarian, right? So they say, oh, age or the fondness of young people and influences from their personal adolescent experience. All right, so this is a very good one. After we know the life story and we analyze, we use narrative analysis, so we can find the factors in the recruitment and employment of young adult librarians. This is a very good example of abstract as well. So they told you everything about the research objective, right? The method they use, the data collection methods, and the data analysis techniques, right? By using narrative form, and the benefit of the research. This is a very good one. It's a very good abstract. So we have limited time, so it's time to practice analyzing life story from the librarian, because I come from the library side, so don't get me wrong, I just use the librarian example from the librarians. And yes, I will give you the link of in the second in class activity now. And I chose the situation like as you can see from pop culture magazine. Say, oh, one day as a librarian, and here's what it's actually like to be a librarian. And I pick up some interesting life story told by librarians themselves. If you are interested more, you can click at the source BuzzFeed. BuzzFeed, they have some. And we can work together now. What is this life story about? What is this life story about? So you read their life story first, just a short paragraph, and you type your answer below the paragraph. What is this life story about? So just a, just a short terms, try to be more specific again, right? Like Ajahn Gop taught us, it's themes or codes, in a more specific way. You can highlight as you want. You can highlight the keyword first. Just try to make you ease with narrative analysis in practice. Caroline said, I haven't touched a book in the context of my job in more than a year. I don't buy books. I don't classify them. I don't even think about them. Librarians aren't only about books. We are about the democratization of information. It's about helping people find what they are looking for, no matter the shape it takes. It's about training them to become autonomous in their research. So what is this life story about the librarian's role or the librarian's job? Ajahn Gop, you can join with our students. Upik, you think about the burnout. Librarian feel burnout now. Hmm? When's thinking about, we try to, get rid of stereotypes in, in people, in general people, in general, right? They have that stereotypes about it. We have to deal only with books.
Yeah.
We try to get rid of. It's very tough one. Trust me. Vincent, you talking about, you think about, sorry, you think about not just books, we provide assistance and training, train the user how to use books, right? Not how to, you know, just buy and lend book. Book big, you goes beyond books. You talking about, you know, the burnout, or you know, sometimes it's I would say there are many kinds of librarians, right? Librarians job, not just public library, but in the academic, in university library, academic library, or even special library. Yeah, each type of library has, you know, specific or special responsibility of their own librarian. And Ajahn Gop have a very concise terms describing this life story, changing roles of librarians. Good one. And you know, and the real answer they have to, I would say, not don't worry about the exact answer. They're talking about, oh, librarians can do more than books, something like that. But everything's okay because you know this is only excerpts. I just, you know, have a, you have to read it all from the life story, but this is only quotation or excerpt, so don't worry. Yes. Good one. And you tried, I will say, in theory we have a, you know, we should merge or combine our answer together, right, to make it, you know, well round, or have a cover everything. Number 2, this is a good one. They say anonymous. What is this life story about? I have never said at work ever. In fact, in your service, we encourage noise. It means kids are there interacting with each other and space. Oh, and I don't wear glasses on a chin, on my hair in a bun, and I'm 24 years old, not 65. Again, stereotype like Vince says, but what kind of specific meaning, or what is this life story? Tell us about. Good. Oh, good things, right? Interaction, the dynamic, yes, good one. And you say, oh, children and adolescents. Yeah. a library of kids stereotype personality. Okay. New generation kid. Okay. Good. Oh, it's a very good word. Stereotype, personality, mindset, and, you know, yeah, children and adolescents. Good. Changes. Good one. So you can, you can assign any kinds of themes or course or even concepts, right, to this life story. And the answer, I mean, a real answer, they're talking about, or keep the audience silent or keep the user silent, not the major responsibility of the librarians now. Right. And wear glasses, as you can remember, yeah, many weeks ago we were talking about stereotypes of librarian by looking at the pictures or photos. Yeah, wear eyeglasses and have hair in a bun and 65 something, blah blah. But now, quite young, right? Librarian, 24 years old. And the third one, what is this life story about? Again, try to be more specific. And now, at first, I mean, at the first sentence, Chris W. just compare library with hospital, right? So what kind of the similarity between hospital and library? Try to be more specific. Now, what is this life story about? Yeah, Vincent, you make a very good point. we're talking about the role of librarians in the different sectors. Yeah, good. Because there are libraries in every sector, right? Industry sector, education sector. Yeah. So the specialties of librarian, like Ajahn Gop says, can happen in every sector. It depends on the sector that the library is, located in, or is yeah, take place. A very good, beautiful word, sustainability. Yeah, sustainability, and you have achieve this goal. Thank you. It's very beautiful word. Libraries in digital world. Okay. And the real answer for these columns, they just use the words of types of libraries. They just have, okay. Actually, there are many types of libraries, and each type library have, I would say, job description, different job description, different librarians roles and responsibility as well. It depends on types of the librarian we work at. Okay. And the last one, I will say for this activity, is more difficult than semiotics, because we have to read them, even short paragraph, one by one line, right? One line per one line is very hard and take time. Yeah. And the last paragraph, what is this life story about? Is not special. Honestly, I go to meetings, order things, answer emails, teach sometimes, and work on projects, just like a lot of people in jobs that aren't surrounded by a weird mythology. I love what I do, but 90% of it is regular white-collar work. Of course, the other 10% of it, I'm a warrior for access to information and the culture of knowledge seeking. So it is better than working in marketing as XYZ corporation in that way. And if you can notice, they use metaphor as well in the narrative, right? Please highlight this word. They use metaphor or analogy in this word, in this story as well, in this quote. Just highlight this word. Which kind of word they compare? Oh, I love one. Yeah, it's very good. Yes, good, Vincent. Warrior. This is a very good metaphor.
It's
For
like
the
a
librarian.
constant battlefield.
Yes, good one. And another term as well before. Yeah, mythology. Very good one. Yeah, I love methodology. I love metaphor. Sorry. And as you can see from Bunny W's life story, just like you highlight two terms, weird methodology and am a warrior. Sometimes this is a metaphor from Western culture, like that. methodology for for Asia or Eastern. Sometimes they not sometimes they use a methodology. Right? We have folklore, or we have a legend, or even tale or story. Good. Job preference. Working as a, as you said, how to say, working as a company employee, right? I would say everyone in this class has the same situation, right? If we work in the public sector now, I will say our responsibility, our roles now similar to the private sector. We have a, have a contract, we have a serious and, performance review each year. Very, very tough now, right? We have a, you can have a, they can cut your budget. They can reduce your ranks. It depends on your behavior now. They treat you like a, company employee. Yeah, believe me. Now, yeah, at the moment. Oh, Pupik, you use a very good words, value. Beautiful word again. Thank you, all of you. Try to use beautiful words to describing life story. A very good one. Value. Job affirmation. So, your answers is based on your common sense, or in front of your screens. So the more you use theory, the better you can code or you can identify themes, right? This is just for practice. Don't worry. Oh yeah, good one. Job satisfaction, value, career value, right? Value for career or job affirmation. Yeah. Good. Thank you. But for the real answers, they're talking about, one day, I will say they not just, yeah, you said a very good one, not routine. Yeah, non-routinary job setting. Yeah, this is the real answer. There are many things to do, right? Not just day-to-day work.
It's not repetitive.
Yes.
Unlike working in a business corporation, like you're being employed for this position, your job is to staple papers all day. Yeah, you're going to die that with that. You're going to staple all your life. Unlike in library setting or in information, you tend to do a diverse work. Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you're extrovert, you're kind of you're kind of a person that you cannot sit down for at least 5 minutes. Yeah,
Yeah.
routinary job will make you crazy. Yeah.
This is your life story, right?
Oh yeah.
That's right. You have a again, you have a oral narration. Yeah, oral narrative. Now at the moment, you tell us your own life story.
Indirectly. Yeah. I've told you indirectly.
Me too. When I talking about, I working in the public sector, but now they treat me like a, company
Private.
employee. Yes, my life
Public.
story as well. And I would say I should try to link the benefit of narrative analysis in real life. I will say in the field of user experience, as you can see in everyday life, they say personas or personas, yes. In the field of user experience, they have they collect data and analyze the data from the user interview, just focus group, and create user persona, like as a for example, like a university student, undergrad student, year 1, year 2, and year 3, year 4, they have different behaviors or different use of information in the library, and we try to create each persona or life story, right? Short life stories about how do they use library services. That's a way to describe them. Or even when you interview librarians, uh, let me know what do you do each day as a librarian, right? One day as a librarian. And they say for user experience or UX field, they call persona. Yeah, in in apply when you apply this concept. But for the research data or life story, is a little bit tough when you compare with semantics, right? Because semantics, I will say this is universal meaning at first, and you can interpret or even understand some kinds of the meaning hidden in the icon and signage on symbols, right? But for narratives, you have to read line by line, line by line. And to be fair, this practice, you just have only, you read once or read twice, right? But in your own research project, you have to read maybe 3 times, 4 times. It depends on, you should have a deep reading, right? To do that thing, create a life story. But trust me, sometimes it's very hard not to sympathize or even empathize the librarian in this story, right? So even you read the paragraph and that's me, that's my life as well. It looks similar to my life. So this is the problems you have to deal when you use qualitative research methods for your thesis project, right? It's very important. That's why I and Ajahn Gop try to introduce many kinds of research, qualitative research methods. Both data collection and analysis, right? Try to offer you a variety of methods to deal with qualitative data. And it's a very good one to skip or pass through the metaphor, the last one of our topics today. Methodology and I'm a warrior. It's a very good metaphor to do that thing, right? Okay, and that's it. It looks like we have the final one, so we should have a short break now for 5 minutes and we'll be back
ท่าน
later
คะท่าน
ครับ
คะ
ครับอาจารย์ก๊อฟ
อย่างnarrative analysis one how to say the text that for do the analysis should be the some kind like a life history like it should be the text the interview from the diaries
yes or
right.
video logs
But for when doing analysis, should the researcher should focus on the event activities? Yeah.
oh อาจารย์ก๊อฟ you make a good point so oh, sorry I have too early too early to you know, sorry let's have a look at this thesis yeah it's a very good one and have a look at its appendix sorry. Oh yeah this one you can yeah please don't forget look at this is a very good example I will say the tough one when you use narrative analysis or you know for your thesis I think how to make your interviewee tell their stories smoothly I will say that and it is a very good one I'm sorry yeah here it's about why young librarian right chose to become a librarian and in the first page of interview guide they say oh in telling us a story about your own life you do not need to tell us everything yes so I will say the toughest part of narrative analysis or narrative inquiry sometimes how do I mean how can we you know stimulate or even encourage interviewee to tell us everything about their life it's very hard for me and maybe sometimes you have to that's why they interview only I think 3 I guess yeah only 3 librarians yeah only 3 librarians yes just like Ajahn Top say it's a good example you see may focus on a few key events key relationships themes yes in the narrative yeah material in your own life and yeah emotion about yourself your life you can let interviewees talk about their life smoothly right without interruption so yeah but I will say the difficult part I will say when you analyze that kinds of data right you have to like a cherry picker you have to looking for you know keywords or some key events key relationship even key themes and a very tough one and yeah you see if you're looking for a good example of narrative inquiry in library and information science this is the best one for me yeah the part is a live chapter you know and you know you just design the flow of your interview right we would like you to begin by thinking about your life as story, blah blah blah. Like all story have characters, scene, plots, and so forth. Yeah, it's a very good one. Try to have a, how to say, drive or driver, right? drive to how to drive your interview smoothly, and make a very good cooperation. Yeah, get good cooperation from your interviewee to tell the story, right? Yeah, elaborations at any point. You don't want the subject to feel rushed. It's inevitable, therefore, that some subject will run too long. So be prepared, right? Because you allow them to tell their life story, so it takes too long. I think for Pupik, when you did the master thesis about love matching or date matching, sometimes they tell their own story, right?
Yeah, yes. It's kind of life story, but we focus on the like their their experience on using the application. Still, we focus on the using of the application events. We focus on this task, but sometimes when they try to tell their story, sometimes it's when they talk about the online dating application, they remind to their like ex lover, some kind ex partner, some kind like that, and they tell about their stories. I think it's the same.
Yeah.
I mean, yes.
Yeah, I got it. I mean, for your master thesis, you focus on the apps, right?
Yes,
Use
on
of apps, but you treat their life story as a background, right? Their background. Yeah,
yes,
you have to let thesis reader to know the background of your your thesis participants first, right?
Because it's kind of information that like it's informative. It will let us know more in depth that why they always save the photos, because they have the experience that they lost the photo of their ex-partner, some kind like that. Why they save the contacts of the people they met on the online application, because they have the experience that they lost his phone, and then like he can't contact the person that they met before, some kind of that.
So
You
try to connect the experience of app user with
yes.
their background or even life stories.
Yes.
Some kind of love relationship.
So Ajahn, so I have question according to the video, so from Graham, some Gibbs, yes. But my question is, he tried to present about the type of the story, like tragedy, comedy, romance, and like satire, some kind like that. So that means that the way the narrative analysis is derived from the humanistic analysis, right?
Yes. Yeah, you are right. I mean, for Gibbs, they just talking about narrative inquiries that come from humanities or I would say literature study or language studies in specific. Yeah, they have.
So that means they compare. I mean, the way that we trying to understand the story in the literature, in the novel or in the poem is it's kind of like the story of one person. So it's same as the persona in service design, and in social science.
Yes.
If you think that library science is a social science, so we try to apply the concept of the narrative from humanities
Yeah.
to understand people in real world, right?
Yeah.
So we
Good. Yeah.
so we yeah.
Understand people. Yeah. Good. Pupik, this is a keyword as well. We try to understand people. I would say this come from humanities or literature study or even language. But for social science or user experience or information studies like us, we try to make use of user story. Oh, sorry, user story. Yeah, to create products and services. You know what I mean? we just have a look at the second one. For the humanities, we read novels, we read poems, and we try to interpret narratives, semiotics, even metaphors for the next sessions. We try to understand people because novel characters or even actors in the films or the movies, they reflect the real experience of humans, right? So they try to understand people. That's it. That's for humanities or language. Or you can get some praise or even literature critiques. They say, oh, these novels, they present a very good, a well-rounded characters, a real life. Yes, that's it. But for social science or information studies in specific, we try to make use of user stories to create new products. I will say that new product or service, improve our services. That's why we present in form of personas or even life stories, right? We try to, I will say that. Now narratives become, more attractive, just like we follow social media posts, right, in everyday life because we have to follow their life stories every day, what really happened. And but for social side, we try to make use, we try to make benefit or get the benefits from that stories. That's how to attract readers, right? When you become a creative writer, you are copy editor, so how to attract readers, how to sell, how to create a new one. It's quite, I will say, this is a applicable, right? Applicability. You try to make use of user stories, but yeah, some they criticize humanities, right? Because you try to understand people and that's it. you can't go further or try to apply the findings or people personality, something like that. Yeah, I would say like like Pupik, you used to study psychology. Now like like a psychology consultant, right? We try to consult or even make a very helpful advice to our patients or clients. That is another part, or make use of people personality, right? But for pure or 100% psychology, they just know, oh yeah, there are how many kinds of personalities, right? And you just have a
Oh, you so like in social psychology, they're trying to to explain that about the personality and the type of people, how about love, how about the living, well-being, but when they want to apply their knowledge, is the output is kind of like counseling they try to help people to be like in a well-being kind like that.
And as you can, read from, like a museum studies, museum visitors, they try to use psychological or personality, right, to explain kinds of museum visitors when they compare like animals. I used to say that like bees or even tigers. This is a make use of personality, right, of psychology, and you apply to the new context or in the context of museum or even libraries as well. And but the ridiculous thing for me is you can eat food according to your blood type. Because you have a blood type like a type A. In the Philippines you have the trend like this, nutrition or diets, right? Try to be try to get good health by eating foods according to your blood type.
Not that I'm aware of.
I think it's from Korean kind. I'm not sure.
This is a good example when you make use of patient's blood type, right? and you can sell food or any kinds of new products to serve the people blood type. I think it's ridiculous for me. Okay, but Ajahn Gop, very good questions, and you can read the appendix of this. This is a very good example for narrative inquiry, like live chapters or even critical events. What I very impressed about this, because they try to jot down every detail when you ask interviewees to tell about their own life stories. A very good one for me. Like a reminder.
And I think you can use this thesis as an example for presenting the findings. You can take a look how to report the findings.
Okay. Then got think ahead now about how to display. How to display your
because doing the narrative analysis, when you for other research, you will say that okay, there are these kind of themes or categories, and explain the categories, right? But from this thesis, they will summarize into cases and narrate what happened to these people. And then I think and the following chapter will again report the key themes that happen through the text, narrative text or interviews.
Finally, they just try looking for, common patterns, right? The similar, when you compare something and you're looking for common pattern among three interviewees.
Yes.
Very good one. Thank you for your question. And we will be back after 5 minutes break, right? Okay. See you soon. The last section now. We talk about metaphor. Could you look at the Zoom chat about, our final in-class activity, metaphor. Mention metaphor we saw from the narratives, life stories. The previous one, we talking about, they mentioned about warriors. So, what kind of activities warrior do? And they compare with, compare with librarians. So, what activities warriors do?
Um, Basically, I think in the actual work of a warrior, they are the ones who work hard and fight and experience
Uh-huh.
the struggle, no, of
Uh,
their work.
mhm.
Comparing it to a librarian that they work every day and they are dealing also with a lot of people like a warrior, no. So I
Okay.
think they experience the struggle of dealing with many people
Okay.
every day.
Struggle. Good one. Vince, how about you? How about you? You can describe librarian as a warrior.
Mm.
Why?
In my previous classes, I always when especially when I taught bachelors,
Mhm.
oftentimes they're feeling discouraged. I mean, they're feeling low and they look down to themselves because
Mhm.
they can. I mean, the course or the library profession is not as grand as like doctors, physicians,
Uh-huh.
engineers, etc., etc. But the one thing that I always told them is that we cannot. Yes, it is true that we cannot save lives at the
Mhm.
moment, but
Mhm.
we help. But we are the ones who help survive the civilization. So
Okay.
yes,
Good.
we are the defenders of civilization in terms of preserving the information of today. Yes.
Mhm. Good. Survive and defend. How about you, Pukpik? If we compare librarian as a warrior from the previous narrative, I will say this is a metaphor. Why?
Just because we live with the information overload, kind of like in with print and like electronic print. But according to right now the COVID-19 situation, we kind of the people who work behind the scene. You know that like in our country in Thailand, like that in July hospital, the docters like they try to like create or like they try to about vaccination, about like the vaccine or vaccine methodology, some kind like that, about the how to how to how to um how to deal with the COVID-19 situation, but the information that they use is from librarian. You know that the medical librarian, she works very hard. She have to like provide, she have to available, she have to like, I think it's kind of it's like a soldier, but but
Okay.
we like we work hard behind the scenes.
And can
Yes.
die. Okay.
I like that.
How about Gop? Ajahn Gop,
Uh,
why they mention about, oh, I'm a warrior.
I think probably they they might face a lot of challenges to problem solving for people, and yeah, might be the job might be exciting.
Okay.
And I think them I mean they will feel brave enough to do like a to
Oh,
be
yeah.
a world changer, something like
Okay. So that's why, yeah, oh, I'm a warrior, right? This is kind of metaphor as well and appear in the narrative or life story. And they're talking about methodology, right? If you if you learn introduction to literature when we call methodology, so am a warrior. I fight
Mm.
many gods because you surrounded by gods. So you say, oh, maybe like if you work in the library or university, your boss as a god, right? Yeah, your students or customer become god, and you have to, you have to survive. You have to fight, fight back, fight against, budget cutting or any kinds of, you have to fight and you can die. Yeah, thank you for everyone. And you have to work hard and struggle and survive and defend something. Yeah, and you do a visible job without, yeah, maybe someone they impress or can't see can see how you fight hard, and have to be brave and die silently, right? Sometimes. So and then yeah, and you are in the methodology, right? Everyone become your god. You have to do that thing. I think it's very good one, as a good example of metaphors. And yeah, look at in practice or in the research in real life. Yeah, I give you some kinds of practice in your, in your country, in your context now. When we, yeah, this is a real one. When we analyze vision and mission statements of libraries or organizations, there are many metaphors, right, appears, maybe hidden or maybe explicitly, yeah, appear in the statement as well. So the first assignment, you just type your answer according to your common sense, right, based on a real thing. Library as I need now, right? Now, NOUN, now. And library is I need adjective, don't think too much. It's based on vision and mission statements, yeah, in front of your screen. And this is library as I need now, right? I need now. And yeah, library is I need adjective. Okay, so based on the statements you see from the screen now, so just type your answer. This is a real one. Yeah, library can be everything. Metaphor. Yeah. Okay. The first one comes from, maybe say, National Library, yeah, of the Philippines, NLP.
John, we cannot edit.
What?
I think we cannot edit.
We can.
Okay.
I
Or is it
can.
Oh, you can't. Yeah.
me?
I requested also a chart. I requested.
Yeah.
Edit.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Maybe share. Oh, yeah. Sorry, I have to change. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I changed the status now. Okay. Sorry about inconvenience. Again. Please try again. I think it should work now. Yeah, can comment. Done.
Okay, chart.
Oh,
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for letting me know. Yeah.
Thank you.
Sorry. Based on vision and mission statement. Yeah. Library looks like.
So we're going to give a metaphor for both adjective and noun.
Yes.
Okay, that's on.
But it's come from the statement that appear
Yeah.
in the vision.
Oh, okay, awesome.
Don't think too much.
We're going to give just one example for each kind of speech. I mean, for noun and adjective.
It library as is noun and library is adjective. Yeah. Thank you. Good try. Good guess. Two examples come from the Philippines and yeah, one example from Thailand. Feel free to, but don't think too much. I will say for the first example, in LP, they just need to be the repository. Yeah. And yeah, and you say, oh, treasure chest. Yeah, good one. Like a Pirate of the Caribbean, right?
You know, fun fact. I don't know if it is if this is fun, but trivia. Yeah. Recently, yeah, because I know I remembered the National Library of the Philippines. Yeah.
Oh.
So recently, this the NLP faced a huge issue because the one that was appointed by the president to head the National Library of the Philippines is not a librarian. Yeah.
Oh, how sad
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah, and to think that we are being the profession is being guided and implemented by the a Republic Act, which requires us to secure a professional license. The head of the National Library doesn't have a license.
Oh,
Yeah, so
yeah, this is a similar situation in Thailand as well. Sometimes we questions about the acceptance of professional association.
yeah, but I mean in Thailand it's kind of okay because there's no professional requirements. But here in the Philippines we cannot practice the profession without a proper license. For example, just like doctors, yeah, they cannot practice medicine if they don't have licenses. But the funny thing is that the highest library in the Philippines was erected not by a librarian, but and that guy doesn't have any experience in library work. Yeah, that's so that are a lot of um librarians in the whole country. Yeah, I think they even filed a lawsuit for that. I think that's kind of complicated.
Oh, it
And
becomes
it's
a
funny.
political issue now. Yeah.
Yeah.
And at least our professional associations checking it's check our it checks our professional perception or even
one of the factors that I've heard is that he was appointed by the current president because when the president was a mayor, the guy was a staff in his mayor's office. Wow.
Goodness me. It's become a political issue now. Yeah.
Yes. I mean, because in every change of administration, somehow all heads that being appointed by the previous administration was automatically changed. So
we have those
it's a funny thing.
we have those appointees that are coterminous with the president. And
President.
what's weird about it is that even though we have di ba, Vince, even though we have qualifications for a certain position, it can be superseded by a president's appointment.
Yes.
If, even there's a document on the qualification for a certain position, it can always be superseded by the president.
My God, he's not even qualified because he
Yeah.
doesn't have number one qualification. You must have a license. He doesn't have a license. Yeah. So okay, it's a political game. So.
You know, like in Thailand, like university dean or faculty deans, or even university rector, sometimes, or administrator, executive. Sometimes there, many of them come from doctors, engineering faculties. It's hard to see humanities faculty members become dean or become rectors. It's very hard. I mean, high executive in university, because we respect, or doctors should be more intelligent than us sometimes. So that's why we have a MD become a dean, or lectures, university rectors as well. Yeah.
Just a follow-up story with Vince. There was this also a dean in one college of UP, wherein the dean, by the appointment of the UP president, is not a faculty. So
Yeah.
it was being rallied by the whole faculty of that college, one of powerful faculties in UP. So they rallied because they will say they will not follow the dean because he is not an academician. So, and what's funny is that at the front of their building, at the left side, there was this tarpaulin, no? They even have this black protest for that. There was
Yeah.
this tarpaulin stating that we oppose the decision of the Board of Regents for the appointment of our dean. Then that is on the left side. On the right side, there's this tarpaulin. Welcome to our new dean.
Yeah. That's why I say it's political
how-
issues. Yeah.
How funny it works.
Oh, trust me. I mean, for this YouTube video, I'm not published in the public, right? No, because we criticize a lot. Yeah, trust me. It's
It's okay. It's already
It's
published.
okay.
It's
It
published in the
was
Facebook.
yeah, it was
Okay.
it was
It's an
being
open.
used.
It's a public
No, I
secret.
didn't tell it in the public. No.
And in my case, it was being published through news outlets. So it's okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, good. Library as warehouse. Yeah. As a repository, warehouse, or even cultural heritage. Good. Intellectual oasis. Yeah. For the second task, they're talking about, if you say it's based on vision, they're talking about quality. Yeah, quality, timely, highly relevant. Okay. Repository, warehouse, they want to be hub, right? They want to be gateway. we say repository, they will come from warehouse, and if you hub, it means like a transportation, gateway, computer.
I'm confused with the spelling of kaleidoscope. Yeah.
Okay, don't worry. Me too. I'll have to check dictionary first.
Shanghai.
You can read further about what can, library can be as a metaphor. I mean, you can click and read some kind of the readings I provide you on Google Classroom. Yeah, later. And we will finish with visual metaphors practice exercise. Thank you, all of you, for your answer. It's time to explain your answer now. How about repository? When you compare with warehouse, so what kinds of characteristic or attributes of warehouse or repository does the library want to be?
Repository, the warehouse, we only focus on the place, the concept of place. It's just a place that we keep or we store maybe the books and kind of like that. But the repository, we have to think about the information life cycle. Like we have to not only keep it, but we will manage it, we will preserve it, we will organize.
Okay.
So,
good. But I love this comparison because like a warehouse, we have everything. We have everything users want, right? And we keep it, preserve it like a repository. Yeah, good one. Hub, we heard this word from the field of transportation, like airplane or like a transportation is a hub. Why the library such library compare itself like a hub?
Because like almost all intellectuals gather there, or once in their lives they have stopped there to check. Just like transportation hubs, they go there to disembark or to load something to their just like the library, they go there to load their knowledge or to work or
Yeah.
Something like that.
Thank you. Good example. And how about you, Vincent? Why we compare library act as a gateway? And yeah, again, gateway can be transportation or even computer, right? Why? What do you think?
Gateway is a function of a gateway is it enables you to connect with others. No?
Yeah, good. Connect. Yeah.
So with the library helps you to connect with various informations
Mm-hmm.
and that you'll be needing for your study or for whatever purpose, whether for academic or professional.
Yeah,
So
good one. Yeah, thank you for all of you. Very good. So if they want to be repository, it means they have everything users want. If they want to be hub, it means we can load and cloud it with customers, right? And and passengers clouded. Yeah, we serve and very popular, right? And if we call ourselves as a gateway, it means we connect. Yeah, very good. Yeah, very good word. We connect people or connect users to information they need as well. Yeah, good one. Thank you. It's all real metaphors appear in mission statements and vision, right? It means what the library want to be in the future in 5 years, I think, because the strategy is cover only 5 or 6 years. And yeah, this is metaphors hidden in these words, right? And not just uh, textual metaphor or metaphor in text, but we can present visual metaphor as well, because now we are in the world of tell the story with with pictures. So that's why we have a visual metaphor as well. Yeah, library as portal and pathway. Yeah, thank you. And the last one, the last exercise, what do these visual metaphors mean? And this is metaphor as well. And just give me some terms to describe short caption to describe this visual metaphor. What does this visuals means? Okay. Hello.
Oh,
So it's time to mix together between semiotics and narrative and metaphor together in this kinds of visual material. Yeah. And you can type your answer under the picture, the image.
I'll type the most obvious one.
Yeah. Why not? And try to think about the synonym as well. Yeah, right, guys. Good. Yeah, marriage equality. Yeah, because you have a same genders marriage. Book Pig, your caption looks like song title, you know.
I don't think too
you
much.
can become song composer now, music composer. the real the real answer they have.
Oh, Ajan Gop already typed the broken relationship. I'll view this picture in a positive note, so I will type freedom.
Okay.
So it's a positive way, right? It means freedom when you say freedom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are free with the bad relationship. So, yeah.
the more you hurt, the more you grow up.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to be a child.
Really hurt.
In the steps on, please.
Yeah, you have a exact answer, like broken relationships. There they use this for broken relationships because you have a direct experience, hands-on experience. Broken relationship. And the first one start with R.
Which one?
Oh, it's relationship.
Not exactly.
Relation.
Resist.
Resist.
No.
No.
Because I think the color, I mean, the different color. Like
Okay, I start with the second one.
romantic.
Yeah.
Romance.
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 Thank you, everyone. So the third. Oh yeah.
The third already.
Yes, press freedom. And how about the words from library science? You know,
freedom of
special
information.
terms. Start with C. Oh, sorry.
Censorship.
Start with C.
Censorship.
I agree.
Yeah, censorship.
Censorship. Yeah. Thank you. You are right.
It's funny that I'm thinking by ourselves. I like it.
Censorship. Yeah.
Okay.
And the last one. Oh yeah, academic excellence. Yeah.
The last one.
Success. Anything else?
Honor. Honor.
Achievement.
Achievement. Yeah.
Achievement.
Thank you, Ajanka. So this practice should be conclude everything we learned today. We use semiotics, right? Like trophy and number one. And we use I would say narrative. Why? Because they have they try to weave image together right? Try to connect or relate, like a golden middle, or yeah, like a, something like this. And yeah, again, metaphors, right? And when we combine together, it's become metaphor. Yes, I will say this is common sense as well, right? Universal meaning.
So Ajahn, how when we want to use metaphor in our analysis, so is this enough if we can provide the evidence? Because when we use the metaphor, we kind of like tend to be subjective. It depends on our analysis. I mean, if we can like provide the evidence that enough or is clearly is this enough in I mean in academic setting?
I will say no, because actually, I would say, type something, but good question. Actually, we just try to supplement or complement. I mean, we use metaphors as a part of major data collection. Let me say that, like I would say last year I would say, we showed the research that interview kids in school and let the kids draw something. That's why we learned already, right? Creative research. And they let kids drawing something like this, visual metaphor, about how they feel about the schools. And they draw like a teacher, like a giant, like a teacher, like a monster sometimes. Means you can relate to this experience, right? And I will say this kinds of metaphor is complement or supplement to the major data collection, like interviews as well. So I will say, just like you said, it's just a part. I will say that just a small part of your research project. Why they let kids drawing something? Because kids can't think about complicated words, like achievement. The kids can use achievement or success, right? So that's why they let kids drawing something like this, like a trophies or golden medals instead. Or my parents or my teachers hope me too much to succeed in education, something like. I would say that's a complement or supplement to the major. But anyway, you can interview kids, right, face to face. But anyway, some you have to clarify something, right, better than let kids talk. So just allow them to draw something. It's a very good one. Yeah, to use a metaphor, like oh, I'm a warrior, so it means you fight like a dog, right? But you are leverage, you fight like a dog. But they say, oh, you are a warrior. It's honor, right? Honor and be brave, something like that. I think it's quite. Sometimes it's a mix, or it makes something. So when you interview, you try to look for themes of course, and you extract some kinds of hands-on experience or life story, and you look for metaphors they use, right?
So that means we have to understand the metaphor, because when we go to the field and like we analyze the data from the interviewee, so we sometimes they're talking using by the word, which is a metaphor, right? So we have to understand, and then when we have to analyze the data and we found the word like this, so we can understand it, and we will know that, okay, what we have to do with their words.
Yeah,
right.
good. But I try to clarify this better. Book Big, when you finish interviewing your research participants and you transform your interview audios to become interview transcript, right?
Yes.
And when you read interview transcript carefully, you first, like Ajahn Top said, you look for themes, right? Or even code. But if you have a structured code, it means you set it earlier in your research project, right? That's fine. And you look for themes, codes, and sometimes you listen or read, I will say that, listen to their life story, right? That's right, you say to know the background. Yeah, to know the background. And then if you read it line by line, you can see metaphor they use as well. But it depends on, I will say, you identify clearly in chapter 3, I mean methods chapter, that when you what kinds of methods or techniques you use to analyze interview data, you know what I mean? Yeah.
Yes.
So, but for me, don't get me wrong, you always deal with interview transcript based on, themes, codes, or contents. That's why you analyze the content, right? Content analysis and theme analysis, right? On coding. Yeah, it's a major techniques you use, but it depends on questions appear in the interview guides or interview protocol as well. If you allow interviewee to tell their real stories or life story, it means, oh, you need to analyze their narrative form, right, in the real life as well, to know the background, or you listen carefully to their life story as well. Or even, oh, you think, oh, there's just like, when kids talking about their parents, it's impolite to, to mention their parents in a bad way. You know what I mean? Yeah, that's why, oh, you allow them to use metaphors, and you're looking for the metaphor they mention. Parents or teachers that hurt their feelings. You know what I mean?
Like monster, like monster,
the monster who, or big brothers to to try to influence every aspect of their life. So it depends on your intention when you design your research methods. That's what you want. So if you just just want to have a library user satisfaction, so no need to use a metaphor, right? So but if about behaviors, or world views, or personal views about something, or sensitive issues, maybe you need to analyze metaphor instead, because it's quite secure for interviewees to mention that kind of sensitive or political issues. like Vin said, you can compare with the president in some countries, and you use metaphor rather than you mention his names directly, right? unsecure to do that thing.
Yes, I am a little bit confused about the humanistic analysis because I used to study the metaphor is kind of like when we read the literature and we found that like our love is it seems like a broken glass, some kind like that. And I have to identify that, okay, the broken glass is some kind like the broken relationship or the relationship already in some kind like that. So I kind of little bit confused between the analogy of humanities and the social science when in the research.
But
context.
beware of cultural differences, because when you compare with you fall in love and you disappoint them and you have a broken heart. Sometimes you can't compare with broken glass. I mean, because this is a Western culture, or even but for Thai, sometimes it means heart. you broken heart. I think it's you have to beware of cultural differences as well, in terms of humanity or humanistic view. It depends on, I would say, cultural context as well. So that's why, I mean, for me, just simple. You fight like a dog. I mean, for Western culture, it's I would say a little bit positive, right? For me, because you have have to fight for the last minute to survive sometimes. Yeah, you are a real fighter, something like that. But for Asian or some countries, this is not good to compare the dog with the fighter, right? You fight like a bull, or you fight like a something in or even not compare with animals, right? In some context. So be careful about cultural differences and cultural context as well. Yeah. That's why I always confirm that you have to rely on theory, because the theory will be make sure that you not get confused easily about the data you found after you finish your analysis, right? Whatever analysis to do. Okay. Any questions now? And please note that I and Ajahn Gop try to suggest you many useful methods of qualitative research, not just about you have to use in real life or in your real project. No, but we hope you can read research article or even kind of practical literature, right, by yourself, and exactly pros and cons of each method and each technique, and you can finally you can consume make use of the research of the research findings of the others, right, and even decide for your project. That's our my responsibility, and Ajahn Gop as well, Ajahn Gop's duty to do that thing, to show you and suggest you something, right? Yeah, but no need to know everything, but pros and cons of each method. That's it. That's all. Okay. Any comments or any questions? Okay. And yeah, thank you for your cooperations today. And yeah, I'm happy with your in-class activities. Okay. And sorry to mention about political issues sometimes. Sorry.
No worries, Ajahn.
I have something next week. I could not be a class. So I would like to ask for your, I mean, another free time to have a class instead of next Tuesday afternoon.
Oh, okay.
I will have a presentation at conference.
Oh,
So yeah, I cannot, yeah, give.
I free every day.
Sorry.
Except I am available every day except Wednesday morning and the QE on maybe Friday afternoon.
Yeah. Friday afternoon. Yeah.
Oh, sorry. I mean, I don't available on a Wednesday morning and Friday afternoon.
Not available.
Yes, not available. Yes. I'm not available.
And how's about Vince and Vincent?
I'm not available Thursday morning. Yeah, that's the only time that I'm not available. Thursday morning.
Thursday morning, okay.
Me, I'm not available. But, I'm a bit shy to say. I'm not available Thursday morning and Friday morning because I have class also.
Okay.
Sorry. So, maybe we can have Wednesday afternoon or
Wednesday
Thursday
afternoon. I have a meeting. I'm not available. Sorry.
Thursday afternoon.
Yeah, I have
Thursday
a
afternoon.
meeting as well.
Okay, sorry.
You're very busy.
Oh, okay. At least I can give up Thursday morning. Yeah, that's very
Thursday morning, Vince have a class.
Yes, records
Okay.
management with the John
How
Pimpot.
about evening?
Sorry.
How about evening?
How about evening?
How's about Thursday 2:30 at 2:30? Thursday 2:30.
Thursday 2:30.
Yes.
Thursday.
I'm good. I'm good Thursday 2:30.
Me
Oh,
too.
wait, 2:30 Bangkok time.
Yes.
Yes.
Wait, 2:30 back.
So it's going to be 3:30 to 6:30
Oh.
classes in the Philippines. Yeah.
Saturday. Next Monday. No, I mean
Saturday I
next week.
cannot.
How's about next week? We will not have class, but we will. I mean, the following weeks we will have class on Monday and Tuesday.
Okay.
So we will have a class on like Monday, 1st November afternoon.
It's not holiday in Thailand in November 1.
Really? Is it?
I mean, I'm just asking.
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's not holiday.
Oh,
Really?
No, it's not holiday.
It's not holiday. It's
Yeah.
like
Not.
All Souls Day.
Huh? No.
I mean in the Philippines we have holiday. It's All Souls Day.
Okay.
So I don't know if
Okay.
I mean it's not it's kinda intimate holiday because we families visit their departed loved ones. That's the only time we could visit them. I don't know if you practice that in
And install the Max QDA and take a look about how to use the Max QDA. And also I post on Classroom focus group interview transcript. You have please take a time to read it through what that is about. And yeah, and just think that if you want, if you have to analyze the focus group interview transcript, how you will do it. Okay. So see you on 2nd November
second November
No.
okay thank you ครับอา
Thank
จาร
you
ย์ก๊อฟ
very much
yeah
Thank
thank
you
you everyone and see you
Thank you.
yeah
ขอบ
see
คุณ
you next
ค่ะ
time บ๊ายบายครับสวัสดีครับ
ก็ป้องสวัสดีครับ
สวัสดีครับ
ว้า
bye